What is going on, YouTube friends? Welcome to the channel. My name is Fareed, and I'm here at the last day of the Rarebloom event, which is taking place here at the Gaylord Rockies in Denver, Colorado. Now, over the past few days, I've had the opportunity to meet many members from within the Cardano community, and right now I'm sitting across from David with the Cardano Solution, as well as the Hidden Order. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. It's actually my pleasure. I know we had a few mistimings before this interview, and so I do want to say thank you for bearing with me. I definitely do appreciate that. But with that said, let's get straight into it. Do you mind telling us a little bit about the Hidden Order, as well as what you're doing with the Cardano Solution?
Sure. So on the Hidden Order side, we're throwing parties that are focusing around different crypto conferences. We did BTC in Miami and did the after party to Sound Money. Then we went over to Austin for Consensus 2022, and then we went to NFT NYC and helped out with the New York meetup group's party over there, which was absolutely amazing because they had a Bored Apes yacht party happening.
Yeah, that's the D-Gens.
Downstairs from our Cardano penthouse party. And we also did the kickoff party to CNFT Con, and we've got an after party happening October 27th down in Tampa, and we should be doing something revolving around the Miami Summit. And we're going to be doing that circuit again next year, and just growing networking events that people can come and enjoy and have fun, dance.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a EDM style vibe, where we've got some DJs that come out and create fun vibes for the community that's
Nice.
a little bit less VC kind of suit oriented.
Right.
And then on the Cardano side, I'm from the Tampa area, and there's not a huge Web3 focus there. So I was able to connect with Hassan Michael down in Miami, who has been throwing meetups for over 3 years now, and has grown the largest Cardano meetup community, I believe, in the world now, at least in the United States. But I know Europe has a pretty big one too. So I don't want to say that it's the biggest in the world without actually checking on the.
Yeah, we'll double check after this meeting.
But I was so thankful to connect with him and the South Florida meetup group, because there was such a great community around it. And Catalyst Fund 4, the Cardano Foundation, asked the Cardano community to start creating local community centers. And so we created a nonprofit that we've named the Cardano Solution to work towards having a local community center, actual physical location to host events and network and educate and whatever else can happen from a physical location to add value to the Cardano ecosystem.
Gotcha. So it sounds like to me, between the Hidden Order and the Cardano Solution, you guys are all about creating an environment or an atmosphere where people can not only enjoy themselves, but also be productive, in regards to networking, meeting other like-minded people, and things of that nature. Is that accurate?
That's very accurate, yes.
Okay, cool. Now, when you were talking about the Hidden Order, you'd mentioned you guys are putting on different activities and parties for the community. It sounds like with the Cardano Solution, you guys are able to find some kind of funding through Project Catalyst. Is that the same thing with the Hidden Order, or is that something that you guys are just kind of funding on your own?
So on the Hidden Order side, we're definitely funding everything out of our own pockets. So it's a balance where we're throwing as much as we can and finding as much time as we can to be at different events to get some extra exposure and create value within the community. On the Cardano Solution side, we recently launched a stake pool that is a 5013C, and we will be putting in a Catalyst proposal for Fund 10, because they're going to be looking for, there's a new category opening up for actually throwing events. So, we're going to try to take advantage of that. And, we're looking to throw a big party around Bitcoin 2023, where there's quite a bit of activity down in Miami at that point in time. So yeah.
Okay. And so in terms of the size of your teams, or the size of the projects, right? The hidden order, how many people make up the hidden order, and then how many people make up the Cardano solution?
So there's different segments to the hidden order, and on on the party side, there's like 5 of us that are really kind of involved. There's more that are loosely involved and kind of getting a little bit more active. And then on the Cardano Solution team, we've got 5.
Okay. That's good. That's good to hear. Hopefully, you guys are able to grow, especially as you guys hopefully acquire some funding through Project Catalyst. And so I wish you guys all the best in that. Now, putting those 2 things aside, I want to talk a little bit about your experience in crypto and how you came to the Cardano community. Do you mind just giving us a quick overview of how you found out about crypto and then what brought you into Cardano?
Sure. It's been on my radar for many years. I'm a Marine combat veteran, and I wanted to learn about Bitcoin whenever it was kind of becoming a thing, and was too busy partying and having a good old time to really buckle down and figure out how to purchase it and how to keep it safely. And I didn't do my due diligence at that point in life. Fell off the radar, and I started kind of dabbling around and started trying to research it again around like probably 2016. And still didn't purchase any. And then right around that 2019 area, it was time to really start buckling down. Got a little Bitcoin, got some Ethereum, started messing around, getting some NFTs there, and just didn't really connect with the vibe of Ethereum, getting caught up with the gas fees and transactions that are taking forever, not knowing if they were going to go through or not. And then found the Cardano community, and just really enjoy meeting Cardano people. It's phenomenal coming to these events like CNFTCon and Rarebloom, because it kind of feels like you're coming to like a family reunion or something of that nature, where you see people and you've connected with them in spaces, or maybe you haven't, and everybody's just welcoming, open arms, lots of hugs, lots of smiles, and it feels like people that you want to grow with. And it still feels like we're super early in the Cardano space, where it's not fully rolled out as a protocol, and it hasn't already mooned to where it's very affordable to get into this space. The transactions are reasonable. It doesn't take forever. And it feels like something that is actually built for people trying to get in this space without raking them over the coals.
Gotcha. I can relate to so much that you said, but I also want to say thank you for your service. I know we spoke yesterday, and that was not something that I realized that you had done. So I can definitely appreciate that very much, and I can echo the same sentiment when it comes to, for me, coming into Cardano. Right, I tried with a few other blockchains, and things just didn't seem affordable for somebody who was just getting into the space at that time. Whereas Cardano really gave me that sense of, hey, you can come in here, you can still use the ecosystem. And not only that, there was a huge community, right? And so showing up here at Rare, seeing how many people were here, right? But then also looking at how many people were here that were also there last week at CNFTCon, it really goes to show how dedicated the community is to the space. And I'm super excited for, like you mentioned, the growth that we have yet to hit within this ecosystem. And so kind of going back now into the Cardano solution and the hidden order, what is it that you guys are providing that can help you guys stand out within the ecosystem? Obviously, you guys are trying to assist, some of these projects in terms of getting them out there, events, that kind of thing. But what is it that you guys can bring specifically that you think is going to make you guys stand out?
Well, on the hidden order side, we're throwing parties that I feel like relate to a lot of people in the space, where a lot of times you come to these conventions and it's a little bit more formal, and there's a lot of DJs in the space that like to spend time being professional and formal, but at the end of the day, people like to get out, dance, party, have a good fun vibe where you can kind of take that suit off and just vibe.
And be yourself. And I feel like that's what this interview is kind of like, right? Like we spent the entire day, or at least I know you have, at the booth talking about Cardano Solution. And to be able to come over here, sit back, kick back, and just kind of have a real conversation, you know? So I think that we need a lot more of those atmospheres, like you said, to where it's not all VCs in suits, where people can really be themselves and let that energy show, right? Obviously, there's the time to be professional, but I also think there's a time to be able to network and really, you know, let things down and take your shoes off and, you know, per se, and just relax and enjoy the people that you're around.
Mm-hmm. And on the Cardano Solution side, you know, as far as I know, we are the first nonprofit to be formed with the goal of having a physical location to be able to host events and have somebody there, you know, that'll be sitting behind a desk to welcome people in that have questions about how to purchase ADA, how to stake it, how to keep it safe on hard wallets.
Right,
and a lot of the important questions that many of us had to, you know, be keyboard warriors and try to figure it out and filter it by ourselves, and hopefully keep some people from getting scammed out of the money and out of their assets in the space.
Right.
And just have that face-to-face interaction that I feel like the space really needs for people to feel like it's a real thing that they're trying to learn about, rather than some kind of pyramid scheme or, you know, all the theories that pop up with the fake internet monies on the interwebs.
Right. I think we have to get rid of that narrative, and I think doing that through in real life events, right, whether it's parties or even just a serious event, I think helps to shed that, I guess maybe a stigma is what we can call it. But I definitely think that, you know, what you guys are doing is beneficial. It may not impact as many people because not so many people can come to the actual events themselves, but for the few who are able to come, I think that the response has been overwhelmingly positive, right? I attended the pre-party for CNFT-Con. I enjoyed it. There was a DJ there. There were over 200 or 300 people there, you know, just talking, networking, being themselves, you know. And then obviously after the next day, it was all business, right? Everybody's at their booth, manning it, talking about their projects. But I think that connection is definitely needed. And so kind of moving things forward a little bit, where do you see the hidden order as well as the Cardano Solution in the future?
Well, I see us not focusing on our typical fiat mining positions and being able to be, you know, fully in the Web3 space and have more time to throw more gatherings and events around these events that we want to be able to be a part of, but don't currently have the availability to attend. And I just see us growing. The more of these events that we attend, the more we're able to connect with people. And I don't want to say that we'll particularly stand out. Because I feel like anybody has the power to make a change and add value to the ecosystem, just like you're doing here, spending time interviewing people and getting some exposure for different projects, and I appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
But it's really just about more people putting in the effort to create these events so that people can network. Right. Pei was down at one of our meetups and met some of his partners at Rarebloom.
Look at that.
Or for Rarebloom.
Yeah, look at that.
At our meetup. So it's things like that are happening that, you know, we kind of feel like a little bit of this Rarebloom thing happened because we had a meetup. Right.
You played a part in that.
Yeah. You know, Charles Hoskinson attended one of our meetups in June at the Miami Wharf. And there's a lot of great projects that are coming through Miami around these bigger, like, cross-chain events that are able to stop in and get in touch with the Cardano community, since we have such a large following there.
Right. I would love to obviously get in contact with you after this, but I would love to start a group meetup in my local city, right? There's nobody there doing anything crypto. And I'm in a small area, but that's always crossed my mind is like, hey, all you need is that spark, and if I can be that spark in my local area to at least start gathering people to celebrate, blockchain, Cardano if they want to, then I think that would be huge. So I'll definitely be having a talk with you after we're done recording this, but that's something that's been on my mind. And so we're going to wrap it up here, and we're going to end on a light note. I want to ask you, what has been your biggest highlight or your biggest takeaway from the Rarebloom event?
But if you allow me, before I answer that, on the hidden order side, we are actually working on a website that we plan to use as an event calendar that is going to be Cardano focused at first, but also we want it to be cross-chain so that we're not Cardano maxis, and we want to be able to welcome in anybody else that is adding value to the Web3 space in general. That there's a lot of good ecosystems out there for people that are wanting to launch meetups that aren't specifically on meetup.com, because you have to pay monthly fees to run that, and that can be costs that are going to food and refreshments for a meetup, even though it's only like $30 a month, but that's still $30 a month if you're in a smaller town where you've got 4 people that are coming to the meetups to start out with. Like, it's kind of a burden, and it can be demotivating. So we want to create something that people can just search in a city and find out what events are happening in their location, and be able to search time frames to see when these events are happening, and have it automated to where we just approve meetup organizers that are hosting these things, and allow them to post freely on what they're doing. As far as the most exciting thing in Rarebloom, it's really just connecting with everybody here in person. There's a lot of FUD that happens. There's a lot of depression and aggression that comes with getting stuck in the bear market vibe, and this totally just washes all that out. And meeting all these beautiful people that are building in the space, it's really revitalizing, and being able to connect with people that are building awesome projects, being able to get some of the little alpha tips that there's new stuff coming out, partnerships happening, obviously getting all the swag and being able to rep all your favorite projects when you get back home, the selfies with people that you've been talking with on Twitter, and first time meetings. But one of the things I do really like to see is all the different companies that are focusing on blockchain education, because that's one of the things that's bottlenecking the Cardano ecosystem, is not having enough developers building in the space in general, as compared to some of the other more prominent blockchains. A way to put it.
There's just so much. There's a few things I want to respond to. So, going back first off to the Cardano calendar, right? I'm sure you're familiar with Kaizen Crypto. He's a prominent influencer, I would say, within the Cardano ecosystem.
I love Kaizen.
Yeah, same here, man. He was actually here earlier for an interview as well. So, Kaizen, if you're watching this, thank you for what you do for the community, man. There you go. But I wanted to say, I believe you'd gotten some funding for our Cardano event calendar, or something very similar to what you'd mentioned. And so what I wanted to say was, definitely link up with him if you haven't talked to him about that already. But it sounds like he might already, be going down a similar path. So that's really good to hear. I use Meetup right now. And as you mentioned, even though it might not be a huge fee, there are some costs that are associated with something that I would generally think should be free, right? Getting information out about an event, I personally think it should be free. Now, to then touch on another point that you just made about developers coming into the ecosystem, we're talking about Hassan Michael earlier in the Dapp 360 workforce, right? And so I'm hoping that somebody like him in the project that he's leading, is able to help us get that new, those new developers within the ecosystem, right? To where they can then start to contribute and then hopefully raise up additional developers within the ecosystem.
Yes, that's one of the things he is focusing on with the Dapp 360 workforce. And it works out well because he was able to connect with Snapbrilla, who does kind of more gig style oriented focus, to where it sounds like they're gonna create a good partnership and
That's
being
so
able
awesome.
to shift people back and forth fluently.
No, that is awesome. And I did actually also have another interview with Nin from Snapbrilla, and I'm impressed. I'm just surprised that I had not heard about their project prior to coming to Rarebloom, right? And so, again, I think this is just another testament to what you can learn when you're here at these events in person. And not only the main events, but also, like you mentioned, the Cardano Solution, right? Providing these other events in the hidden order, providing these after parties, these other events where you can kind of kick back, still network, still enjoy yourself, and have a good time. And so, David, I want to thank you so much for giving me your time here. Again, apologies for earlier. I'm glad we're able to sync up now, and I'm super glad to have you share your information here about the hidden order as well as the Cardano Solution. And so, for anyone who's interested right now in finding out more about the hidden order or the Cardano Solution, how can they do that?
So for the Cardano Solution, it's just cardanosolution.org. And the best way for the hidden order is just the hidden order on Twitter.
Gotcha. Now, we don't have to go through any kind of like ritual or anything like that to be inducted into the hidden order, do we?
No, it's just a fun speakeasy vibe. Not all the events are super big, so some of the things that we are going to do at a later time is allow only. There's a mint that is going to be coming up. I won't talk too much about that right now.
Gotcha.
It's still in the works, but we will be using some of that as like ticketing availability to where it's like, okay, this is going to be a smaller event and you must be a holder,
member of the hidden order,
of the NFT to get into the party.
I like that. I'll be watching out for you guys, and I'll definitely be scooping up one of those NFTs to support the project, man. With that said,
so much.
No problem, man. No problem. Any closing comments?
I did want to go back and say thank you for letting me know about Kaizen working on some sort of calendar. I'll definitely reach out to him and make sure that we're not stepping in on any toes or doing any double work to where if he's already got some momentum there, then we'll shift some focus somewhere else or maybe just kind of collab there and see if we can't add some value to what he may have started already. Yeah,
and that's honestly what this space is all about. You come here and you learn about things and you share. And so with that said, that's going to be David from the Hidden Order as well as the Cardano Solution. Again, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to meeting with you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.